everyone. How are we all doing today? Another beautiful day. And today's video, some people requested me to talk about being sensitive. They noticed that as they got older, that they are more sensitive than they used to be when they were much younger. I mean, these people I'm talking about, that not that old at all, maybe in their 30s, but they noticed that they've become so more sensitive as they got older. So they asked me, to talk about it. How do you handle it? First of all, what is being sensitive? Sensitive people are people who are quick to respond to slight changes, to signals, to things. They are quick to respond to things. And they are very cautious as well. People who are sensitive, they are very cautious. They don't want to try some new things, or they overthink things, or they read too much meaning into things. Sensitivity on its own is not a bad thing, but it's just the way we handle it may mean that it can actually control our life or help us in our lives. I like to use a Bible passage whenever I can, and today I'm using Matthew 7, verse 12. And it says, "So whatever you wish that others will do to you, do so to them, for this is the law and the prophets." And also, I think Luke 6, verse 31 says something similar. Do to others what you want them to do to you. So, what am I talking about? How you talk to people. If you may not be a sensitive person, however, there are things that people will say to you, whether you're sensitive or not, you won't like it. So, at the same time, do the same to others. Before you say something to people, before you ask some people some silly question that people ask, you see somebody, maybe you think in your head that they should have been married, for example, or that they've been married for some time and you haven't seen them pregnant, and you think they should have children by now because you are God. You start asking them some questions. These are sensitive questions. So whether the person is a sensitive person or not, they will react to that question in a sensitive way. So let us always think, whatever you want others to do to you, do so to others. So being sensitive, as I say, is not a bad thing on its own, because it can work both ways. Sensitive people have their own good side and their own bad sides. For example, the older we get, the wiser we should become. So let us watch what we say to people, especially people that you think are at certain age and they're not doing what you think, because you are now God, what you think that they should be doing at that stage in their life or at that age in their life, be it working, be it anything at all, and comparing them with others. We have to be sensitive and know what we say to people. Sensitive people can be people, they can it can be a challenge really for them, and they can find it very difficult to make decisions. They avoid conflict. They try to take things too personally. They take things personally. They overthink things. So this is not good, because taking things personally and overthinking things may be very detrimental to you, because the other person who said something, actually sometimes it may not be the way it came out, that it want to be how you analyze it may not be what they meant. But when you overthink and overanalyze things, it can actually be detrimental to you. So it's good in a way to be sensitive, but when it comes to emotional sensitivity, where we are taking everything and it's affecting us emotionally, we are even passing sleepless nights about it, then it's no longer good. Don't take things personally. When people are talking, maybe two people are standing talking and you're coming towards them and they stop talking and maybe change what they're saying. Oh, automatically they're talking about me or about you. No, maybe what they're saying, they don't want anybody else to hear, or they don't want you to get involved in what they were saying. That's why they stopped. So don't overthink it. Don't think it's because of you that they have just stopped talking when you approach them. No. When we start overthinking and bothering ourselves, we start developing all sorts of things when the other person is not even what they meant, or how they feel, or about you. So please, let us be less sensitive. So the people that ask me the question, how do we deal with it? I think, to me, the best way I've been dealing with sensitive things is maybe either I approach the person and ask them, actually, what do you mean by what you just said or whatever? Or I will ignore it. I will make an excuse and say, oh, maybe they are talking about something else, or maybe the way they ask that, or just try and brush it out. But if it's really bothering you, approach the person and clear it out. But please stop over thinking things, and stop taking things personally. That's the way you can deal with being oversensitive, is try to avoid being oversensitive in the first place. Don't over analyze. I think there's plane going now. I'm outside here, so there's a aeroplane going up there now. But I'm sure you can still hear me. Yeah, so stop and over analyzing things. That's one thing you can do to help you not to be too sensitive, because the other person may have just moved on from what they said. But as I say, if it really bothered you what they've said, you can go and ask them. And also, people, please let us watch what we say to people. If you know something that somebody will ask you, if you are in that situation, and you wouldn't like it, don't ask such questions. There are questions not to be asked. You are not there to monitor people's progress, and they or setback in that way, because they don't monitor anybody's progress. It's only when they think it's bad thing or setback, or they haven't done this and they're supposed to have done it by now, you start asking them questions as if you are God. God's time is the best. God's time for everyone is so different. There's nothing like my mates. So there's no point in asking people some sensitive questions. And please, when sensitive questions are asked, try not to dwell. It just the person asks the question, maybe that's them, and you can answer them. Give them the answer you want to give them, or ignore them, but don't overthink it. Don't take it too personal. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it start affecting your mental health, because it's not even worth it. Please, that's the best way to handle being so sensitive, is just not try to avoid it, and even try and prepare an answer. If you've noticed that people are asking similar questions all the time, then get your answer ready. Tell them what you want them to hear, and don't go and start maybe brooding over it and feeling so bad. Look at what they said to me, look at what they asked to me, and being too sensitive about it. No, prepare an answer. That's another way to deal with to avoid being too sensitive, is to prepare an answer for people. So when they ask certain questions, then you give them the answer that you want them to hear. Maybe if you give them that kind of answer, they may just back off, and they may not bother you again. But if you keep explaining to them and try to explain everything to them, then next time they may ask you another one. Oh, the other time you said that that you are still waiting. You are still waiting on God. Are you still waiting? As if you are God that does anything. So just form an answer that you can give to them, so that they can back off and leave you alone. As I said, this video is just a very quick one regarding how we deal with sensitivity. As we get older, we should actually be wiser, and then try not to be too sensitive, and try to be prepared to answer people, and to give them the answer you want them to have. So what I've said today is not to overthink things, not to take things too personally, not to overdwell on things and over analyze things. No, just take it that this person asked that question. Well, that's how they are. Give them the answer you want them to hear. I hope I've done justice to this. I don't want the video to be long. I'll be on live stream on Sunday. We can continue this discussion that day on my live stream. You can continue this discussion, and maybe other people can bring other things, and maybe by that time I would have thought of other things as well, and we can all share it on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all on my live stream on Sunday, 3 p.m. UK time. I will look forward to seeing you all. Thank you so much for watching. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, please consider subscribing. Put on your notification bell. We do all sorts on this channel, and I'm sure you will love what you see. Thank you once again, and God bless you. Goodbye.